So you're working on restoring your Honda Mini Trail by yourself in your home shop, and the simple things seem to take a long time. So here we are with a 1974 QA50 tire, original tire on the original rim, 47 years old at this point in time. Here's one I just removed. And there's what's left of it on the floor. So the question is, how do you go about breaking this bead? After all of those years and all of that rust, it can really be a task. And it's even harder if you don't have the right tools. And I actually have, for the most part, the right tools. So we're gonna take a quick look and see what's the easiest way to do this. So I start by removing the valve core. So use a valve core tool. Pull the core out, that way you have nothing in the tube. Don't make the mistake of undoing the bolts that hold the two halves together. Just makes it a little bit more difficult. I was contemplating using my tire changer. This is from Harbor Freight. When I'm really using it on the big bikes, I bolt it down to a pallet, and it makes breaking the bead really, really easy with that lever on the bottom. And it also gives you good base to lever on the new tires. However, most people don't have this, and trying to do a DIY demo with a tool that people don't have really, I don't think, adds a lot of value. So instead, we're going to start off with just a regular bench vise. So you can see I've got this open. Basically what I do with the small tires is put them in here, squeeze it as much as I can. In some cases you'll get lucky and the bead will break. In most cases it won't, but it loosens it up enough so that you can do the second step. And the second step is really easy. So let's take a look at that. All right, here we are, tire in the vise, and just squished it a bit. And bead did not come off, right? You have to be careful and make sure that you've got the rim outside of the jaws. Really all we're trying to do is loosen it up a little bit here. So we loosened it up. I'm gonna spin the tire a little bit, just loosen it up a little bit more, and then I'll show you how you pop that tire off of there with not a lot of effort. So this is the side that I was working on. I'm at the point where I can get a tire iron in there. And then I use a little PB blaster and just squirt it in there and let it start to soak in. And believe it or not, this is a step that people often skip, and it makes a big difference. So I just go around the tire a little bit, pry it down so I can get this in there, and shoot it in. If you think about it, it really isn't any different than what you might do mounting a stubborn tire, right? Because you're always going to use some kind of lubrication to get the bead to slip over, right? Why not do the same thing when you're taking it off? And then once you've gone all the way around, in a lot of cases, you can just now slip the bead down off of this half of the rib. And when it goes, you're gonna feel it. So really, that wasn't too difficult. Now on the other side, I'm going to do exactly the same approach. So I'm going to take it over, I'm going to loosen it up just a little bit. All right, so in this case, made it a little bit more difficult by the hub on this, but basically took it over there, just loosened it up a little bit, stuck the spoon in, and after one shot of lube, broken bead. So where does that leave you? It leaves you with taking the rim apart and seeing what you've got. And if I could find my 10mm socket, I would do exactly that. Actually, not as bad. This is the back tire. Front was a lot more difficult. Apparently, we still have a little bit of way to go here on this one side. So instead of fooling around with it, put it back on the bottom. So that you have a base. And this one's rusty, but not as bad, and actually came apart a little bit easier. And that's ready for the garbage. So, in a couple of minutes, you can get these things apart. My secret is use a little lubrication. And even if you don't have the tire changer with a bead breaker, you could effectively do the same thing a lot of different ways just to get that loose. So once you can get the spoon in there and have a little bit of wiggle room, get your lube in, work your way around the tire, and it'll come right apart. Thanks, guys.